Hello, it's Original MaRul, and welcome back for some more FTB Interactions Remastered. I do not know where we left off last time, but I want to check the power system. That's definitely empty. What about you? Yep. Okay, so this is just a graphical thing, probably because I'm doing the four stacked together. Yeah. Not updating properly. Hopefully I have enough turbines for this. Yep, the other base finished their turbines. Good. Started. It warms back up this time. And I got these higher output turbines. Because last time we were having a little bit of trouble with what was drawing power. Yeah, it's still looking like the case. This is drawing power first. Actually, that's processed through a lot of the uranium. Got a few bits of pink stuff. But yeah, that buffer has to fill up because of the way things are wired. Stacks of uranium, but that's because I was mostly filling the system. Almost 3K in uranium hexafluoride. In fact, this system will switch over. Matter, neutral matter, gas. I still like that I have the random cell of liquid starlight in there. Let's see. You need to go to the space platform and oh, I do. Back on. There we go. Now the space platform real quick. That's running. I guess just an update on things. If you do like coming to watch me live, it might be good to join the Discord. Links in multiple places. It's an easier way to tell if when I'm going live on everything. Besides that, just that Twitch does support me more than YouTube, but I'm happy if you watch YouTube all the same. To the Emerald. Good. Slowly starting to work again. Still didn't get lucky. And yeah, also because of personal stuff, I didn't get to stream much. I didn't stream one day last week, so there weren't as many videos floating around. But that's what happens when life gets in the way. A little bit on natural oil. I don't know how much progress I'm actually going to make right now. I'm just kind of poking at stuff because this is a shorter stream. Let's see. Or I'm also looking at how this is processing. I should order 5. The only problem is this doesn't actually split. I'll chew on. Getting power yet? Yes, okay. So this loop should be running too. Once these get actually done. That's the HSSG just. Because that's what's going to be the next, that's what the next rotors are going to be made out of. Figure out I'm going to keep these systems for both for a little while. I should figure out some of the other bridge stuff. I mean, I've got the liquid bridge pretty much set up, so this system can get liquids from the other one. But the item and crafting isn't really set up, and that's what the logistics bridge is supposed to do. But I haven't played around with it yet. Barrels left. Yes. There. Now that should dump into the barrel. Because I do need to keep using up more of this matter. I'm going to keep backing up. Chlorine. I have turned off right now, but I can do chlorine breakdown if I need to. $5K. I updated everything, right? They're all 6.5K, yep. What's EV? Two-ish on the dot. But I've got 6, 12, 24, 32 and a half. 16-ish amps. So that's about right. That can technically take 32. But yeah, 5 of these is equal to a full 16 battery buffer of EV. Which is a lot better than my original setup. The IV rotor hatches actually help out a ton. And if I can upgrade them with the IV dynamos and HSSG turbines, making a decent amount of power. Blast furnace, infusion, essential production. The Aurelian artifact. That's what I need, is Osmoridian. Because I need LUV, which is IV doubled. And I just need a vacuum for hatches. Alright. Step away for just a sec, and then I'll be back. Alright, let's get back to it here. Yep, you're already charged up. Be getting a nice charge now. And overcharge system should take effect. Already producing a ton of uranium. The wrong type of uranium, but still nonetheless a ton of uranium. Got some. Those are full. Problem is still the hydrogen production on that, but that's not awful. Got to see how much the upgraded versions of these take. If the IV dynamos plus HSSG turbines, it's IV level power, this could be nice. Get even better machines. I forgot about these. More stuff. Do it. Forgot I was running those other two. Apparently goes to extract. What item colors am I not using? All liquid. Using green for everything. We could go like red. Not the most elegant, but it's something. Now all those are going to dump that barrel. I might as well lock it just in case. SG. Out of thin air. Well, not out of thin air, but just out of power, pretty much. Oh, tungsten rotor. Or tungsteel rotor. Another... Am I not doing anything? I can put an extruder there. By just making them. How to program them. I'll need a shape plate. Running. Blast furnaces real quick. They run without issue. I don't think I had any other projects really brewing. Do a wellness check real quick. else I can do with mercury. All mercury. Once I get fusion reactors, I can turn it into 235. Straight into radon gas. Already using it for mercury, barium, calcium, cuprate. Could break it down. Not bad. Does take a while. Hypochlorite. Good. That. And then it's just used for a lot of different processing. Nothing too special. Because even with the material stuff, I'd probably still run this setup. Just built a bit different. Material good for use the cobalt. Nice because it pulls silver out of gold. One pulls the platinum out of nickel, which is nice. Palladium out of platinum. Much I need that just yet. Pulled out of silver. I'm not running this. I'm using the... This goes to the platinum slot. Palladium from sheldonite. Silver from gold. Lithium, don't need that. Or a night. Got a pyrite, which not bad. Just looking at what I can do with stuff. So I got to plan out the new production. I need the next space is all EV and IV tier stuff at least. Start out with. I got to plan out that and figure out how much I need to start building. Cutting saw. Carbide. Carbon. Yeah, tungsten carbide. EV, at least nichrome, yep. I'm currently... Can't I... Guessing... I think I remember that I... Steel, tungsten... I did not set up tungsten carbide. I will need. Yeah, something set up. That's full. G. Carbide dust into tungsten carbide. Blast chill. Right? HV. Only running EV, you're running EV. Pipe. No. I don't have a chassis pipe. I do need to be careful here. I think that's the first obsoleted HV machine. I'm using the EV cutter. IV machines that I've been sitting on. Oh yeah, I do already have the chemical reactor. Yeah, I just need the cutting saw is the next thing. I already have this, but I need the IV cutting saw for the wafer cut. So working on making alt. Are you? On in the system. There's lots of nichrome. I don't get why there's so much redstone in here. But there was a spot for sodium. Your cobalt. Oh, it doesn't have a void. I want to send this to get broken down. Fast. Yeah, well. Get broken down. Yeah. That's another thing is I could just break down other byproducts to make my uranium fuel using the system. Technically, need to break down the uranium itself. There, now that one's processing sodium. I do need to set up a termination for that. I could just automatically send it. Not the right time. Just doing, running a little short. Guess I don't have that much ultimate floating around the system. Let's see. We'll have to build out some other stuff. I also need to mix up carbide or tungsten carbide. Take an EV. Running it in U for a bit. Tungsten. Carbon set to 1. Yeah. Gears out of it. Great large gears. And then I gotta throw it through a lathe. Does this need to be? Tungsten carbide. Okay, it just has to be HV, so that works. The lathe needs to be HV. Carbon or HV lathe. I have an HV lathe. I do, but it's not hooked up. Need the rotor blade. Screws. Hopefully this will get screws before it fills up with plate. Yeah, just doing a real chill stream today. Trying to make progress, but like on minor stuff. Stuff so I can come back to next stream and really knuckle down on a couple things. Bouncing around over here. Oh, it is full of ultimate. It does need like 8 or some dumb amount. That's why rotors are so expensive. And it's gonna fill up 8. Go ahead and request the stuff to do the overflow thing. I like what I should be doing for that mixer. That. Yeah, now I can make the tungsten carbide blade. Base fur. crafting tables. Yeah, I've only taught those two so far, so I do need to teach the cutting. The motor. Did I? No, because I still haven't. I really want to do petrochem. Yes. Vinyl. Polyvinyl acetate plus butyrolide. Get. Propene, hydrogen, carbon monoxide. Other side again. Vinyl acetate and acetic acid, oxygen. No way to make it in its solid form. I was just double checking. Binary gas. Pure oil. Okay, well, we got to take a break here and back. Hey. I just need like 5 HV reactors. Oh. I still forget the item filter. Uh, Don't worry, this is get messed up. The old factory's still humming. See, there's still a lot going on in this old thing. But I'm hoping that the new factory with the applied energistics will work better. Have less issues. Have the brain power for petrochem. This new type of plastic that I need to get done for laminated glass. Maybe. I don't know. Might be a tomorrow thing. Try to get as much of it running as possible. That. Pull all this out and put this in. It'll hold it all except for 32. This alone might just help. Double plate I need, the system needs to make. This is still running. It's just, for some reason, this is dark blue instead of light. Actors. Before I forget, I should put that on the list of stuff to do. Polyvinyl butyrol plastic. Glass. That will allow me to make the IV cutting saw to cut H-pick wafers. So I can make the IV really boost the blast furnace up. Which really I need to build a new blast furnace over on the other side. Which I had an idea. That's something I should look into. I am thinking about actually using spatial pylons. Move around multi-block machines. They didn't change those at all. Yeah, these are just normal spatial components. Interesting. Did you make spatial pylons cost more? Or did you just kind of hand wave away spatial pylons because no one was going to use them? Pylons. I'm probably looking right at them, and my eyes, whenever there's something I want to find, I can't, my eyes don't lock on it. There it is, spatial pylon. Yeah, it's just the normal recipe for spatial pylon. Huh, that's funny because 0-point energy matrix. Oh, but you can't make it in this pack. Ah. Okay, so yeah, the one multi-block machine, special machine that Greg Tech might use for a multi-block isn't in this pack. This is just basic. Okay, I'll have to remember how those work. Because that should be able to handle a decent sized machine. Up and move. Or build a new one. Either or. This still needs a ton of screws, so I want to make sure there's a spot for screws to go in, and it doesn't just get backed up with plate. Because it does need a ton of plate to make these rotors. Especially these double plates. When I go to HSSG rotors, it will take single plates, so it will need even more. Or, well, it will take up the same amount of space because double plates take up only go to half stack. That's the reason I set this to 32, is because that is a stack of double plate. Double plate does not stack more than 32. Chemical. So yeah, I just need a bunch of crafting for facial components, right? I need another space for crafting tables. Kind of running out here. Or actually, I didn't start using... Yeah, I didn't start doubling up. Do that real quick. Oh, I don't know if I've done the Fluix pearls. Think about it. Ah, this space is laggy. To build the new one. I know that's not helping. Depending on how expensive the Fluix pearls are in this pack. Is she making this stuff? Yeah, I don't know. Luke's pearls. Okay, they are a little annoying because it has to be pure fluid, ender pearl dust, gas, and MV into that. Need more cables. But yeah, spatial pylons are pretty much you can store in-world stuff in a drive, but you can't really interact with it. But you can use it to kind of pick stuff up and put stuff down if you know what you're doing. It is just a little bit tedious, but I think it's going to be faster than tearing the whole thing down and building it back up for some of these multi-blocks. Especially since I'm moving them so far. This will just make pretty much everything I'm going to rip out of the logistics system here is going to go over to the other base as it gets built up. Upgrade that to double IV. The LUV. I definitely need the power of the other base. Oh, I'm not. not one of these so I can build another one of the photonuclear fission chambers. Run even more turbines. Maybe it was what I was seeing before with all the ultimate dust was what was being produced to turn into ingot. Maybe that's what I was seeing. I just remember there being a lot of ultimate dust in the system. But there's also lots of nichrome in the system for some reason. Dumb. Add that to the to-do list also. I'm gonna mess with spatial pylons. Thing. Okay, so I also need to do this. Gotta learn multiple types of glass. Okay, that didn't get messed up. That's exactly the right ratios. Making screws soon. 5 times 8 times 5. 40, 200. 200 ingots worth. Or 200 plates. 64 plus 32, 90, 96. I do need a lot more plate, double plate still. God, these things take a lot. There's still another 2 stacks in there. Because the screws are cheap in comparison to the amount of double plate I need. That's why this gets backed up. But like we've learned with the circuit boards, the robot arm. Which is something I gotta make sure I figure out a way. Well, no, the ME system will probably take care with its item buffering if you turn it on. If it's, yeah, I need to play around with this version of ME some more because it's got a few upgrades that I'm not used to. Because this is the unofficial extended life version, which is a little different. Got a few tweaks, plus the tweaks that the pack makes itself. But once I start figuring out the applied energistic system, I'm hoping that I can get processing running a lot faster. Yes. Double check. Fine. Yeah, fine blades. I'm going to be looking at making these. Five an ingot. 8. 5. 4. 6.4 stacks. Now I have at least 3 stacks in here. Why I needed that barrel over at the other site, because I need to be able to produce enough HGGS, or so many alloys to remember. HSSG dust. So yeah, I did have it right. To fill these things with rope. But hopefully with the upgrades I've done to the, or with the redstone signal controls, the redstone control signal I've set up here, these rotors won't wear out as fast. So I can get very slow production. Right now it's what, one every five minutes. Okay. 410. 5. 171 hours. Complete. But with 3 producing, it's only like 2.5 days. So these rotors will have to last 2.5 days. And these are the old rotors. These would be much faster, but they're not going to produce the type of power that I want for doing full IV. Because right now we're producing like barely 16 amps EV, which is 4 amps IV, 1 amp LUV, fourth every time you go up a power level. Basically running HV off of this. Processing still running. Good. Because that's the thing. I got it from these turbines have to last long enough to run processing both sides. Produce enough matter to actually have the matter to produce the extra HSSG dust. Right now I've got all these full and an extra 160 plus buckets. Produce this stuff, it actually takes more neutral matter. That's good because the uranium I make, the uranium enriched in uranium hexafluoride, actually uses more charged matter than neutral. So having something that uses more neutral matter than charged balance things. I think I'm almost to the point where I'll restructure this into actually a close to final version. Because this was all just a test bed to make sure this worked. Figure out what systems I actually needed. And it's been running pretty good. Like having the huge excess of matter. The only thing I'm worried about is whether I can produce enough rotors. But I could be so far ahead on matter. I really need to... Actually, I should be probably running the higher... Maybe I'll look into the math on it. I don't know if the higher end stuff is actually going to save me or cost me more energy in the long run. Because it might be that I just need more of it instead of running faster. Because when you overclock, you actually get like double the speed for 4 times the power. Is the conversion, I think. I gotta dig into it again. That's something I'll have to look at. Whether it's worth upgrading these matter replicators. Or just having more of them. I am getting close to the big multi-block. But there isn't a multi-block for the matter replicator, but there is for the Material, yeah, deconstructor. The multi-block for the... Oh, but that's ZPM. Not even near. Never mind. I'm not even near that. Still what? It's only one power level away. Once I get to the LUV, so if I make the two IV energy hatches, get to LUV blast, start making some of the LUV stuff. Platinuming. Oils. But the main thing is osmiridium. Got the stuff where I just can't make, because that's blast furnace. Get osmiridium. Okay, so what else? That all stuff on the list. Got the... I'll need another mixer for this. Yeah, I can make it an HV mixer. Run these together. Because that's what? That's 2 slots plus a tank, and that's 2 slots plus a tank. Thing has 6 slots. 2 tanks. Yeah, I could double this up. Because they don't have circuit conditions, right? Yeah. This has the forming mold. Yeah, I can run those together. Yeah, ULV, so that I can run in the other plastic fluid solidifier. I've got a forming press I'm going to put that into. Sadly, it's the same one that does the rotors. So belting out steam for just a trickle of high uranium hexafluoride. Because this is basically the reactor for this pack. Barely uses up the tons of steam that thing belts out. Even at full draw. These only do, what, 80k liters? Yeah, 84 K liters. Easy, that's 84 kiloliters. The few times that conversion comes in handy. This thing can belt out. On this thing. This can do 655 kiloliters every half second. This was for 10 ticks, which is half a second. So yeah. 5565. So these ones I can run about 7. Currently running 5. But we'll have to see when I upgrade these things to the next level. This is going to go up. I'll have to see if I hit that tipping point where I might need a second one of these. But I have all the stuff to build a second one of. I have so much hexafluoride right now, I don't really need it. Because I'm up to like 3,000 buckets almost of uranium hexafluoride. That takes 10 millibuckets every half a second if running at full speed. Thousand. Oh, what was that? That was 300,000 ticks? Or no, 300,000 half seconds. So I have enough to run that for like a day and a half nonstop, but I'm not running it nonstop because I'm barely doing any. And part of that also gets reprocessed. Not in the way you're normally supposed to reprocess that, but in a different way. But I'm not currently producing more. Alright. Sad to say, I think that's going to be the short stream here. I just wanted to get on to Pocket stuff and make plans for tomorrow's stream. So plan for a normal full stream tomorrow starting at 4 p.m. standard time. So for watching, subscribe if you haven't, like, comment, really helps for watching, and